A big recruiting weekend at SC, and Aaron Donald visits campus here on the Student Body Right USC podcast. All right, folks. Steve Wiltfong, of course, is part of 24/7 Sports, one of the guys who knows all things recruiting in college football. And he is just reporting an hour ago, which is let's go here. We got breaking news from Manchester, Georgia. High five-star defensive lineman Justice Terry flips his commitment from Georgia to USC. So I don't usually get into the recruiting part of it. I'm more of a transfer portal guy, guys who've already played college football, but high level kid, high level player, high level kid who is flipping now after visiting USC for going from Georgia to the Trojans. And I think that's obviously, we know we can get into reasons why he might have done that. He said it was a no-brainer. Terry told 24/7 Sports, coming from a small town, I wanted to expand my life as much as possible. And I felt like USC is the right place to do that. So it makes sense. For obviously he felt like he could have he could play college football anywhere. Um, he felt like this was a great opportunity for him to expand and get into that network at USC. That whole like only letting in 90% of applicants, only the best go to USC. And I think for him, it makes this is a direct correlation to why Eric Henderson, dog work, is part of USC football right now. I mean, he's the guy who people revered about in the NFL, one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL. He is a great communicator and a great leader, and he's great at recruiting. And it also gives USC a tremendous opportunity here to start getting some of these D linemen, whether it's an edge, whether it's a D tackle. Those things are really important for SC. Defense. You can have the USC has already had good corners. We know they have good corners. We know they've had some linebacker, but some linebackers. But the defensive part of football that USC has been missing is the defensive line. If they can get defensive line work, if they can get a guy who can get guys who can come in and rush the passer without having to blitz, that's the biggest key to playing defense. It's been getting pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz. And if you can do that in Dan Tinlin's system, Dan Tinlin is very good friends with Eric Henderson. So it's all about relationships as well. So them having a relationship together, help bringing that relationship has spawned into them working together now at USC. And you see, kids. I mean, like, when was the last guy who, you know, went from a Georgia or Alabama and then said, "Hey, I want to go to USC instead"? I mean, those are the kind of things that you're looking for from this group. It's a very talented defensive staff. They want to obviously get things going in the right direction defensively, and this is a big moment for them in this 2025 class. And they got a big guy. They got a really big guy. Now he has to stay committed. He's from Georgia. They already have the big time quarterback coming in as well, and Juju Lewis. Maybe Juju helps this whole process as well. But this is a great pickup for SC. It moves them up the ranks, and once SC gets rolling recruiting wise, again, just like Denton Lynn said, he really, he came to SC because he knows the offense is going to score points. Like, he knows the offense is going to score points, so that just makes his defensive work a little bit easier. And I think the dog work that Eric Henderson talks about is his ability to communicate and talk to these kids, talk to these parents, and getting the quote unquote bubbas to leave the South to come to the West Coast to expand their life in their horizons out here. There's a whole lot of opportunities out here for college football players. You also got, I'm sure, hey, you want to talk about you want to have them talk to Caleb Williams a little bit. You want to talk to some of the alums. But I think for them now, for these kids right now, they need to see something from the now. And Eric Henderson is the now. Like they saw the Rams win the Super Bowl. They saw Aaron Donald, who was on campus, just wandering around this recruiting weekend, saying, "Hey, how's everybody doing?" That can't hurt either. He's a Pit Panther, but right now he's on the West Coast and he retired from the Rams. And one of his good friends, one of his best friends, is Eric Henderson, the defensive line coach, and it really helps SC a whole lot to have him recruiting and helping and having conversations about what it's like to work with Eric Henderson. This guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, probably the best D tackle we've seen since Reggie White. He just manhandles people. That whole video with him training with knives, trying to hand fight and be able to train with knives and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend it, but it worked for Aaron Donald, right? So Aaron Donald having him on campus and having him help recruit players and talk to players and just talk about what Eric Henderson can do for you is a big deal. And I think no question about it, it helps SC in this market of trying to get a better defensive line, and it's helped Eric Henderson do his thing. And I think this is why the USC brought these guys in to help this defensive line become a big time force in it used to be Pac-12, now in the Big Ten. All right, Student Body Right USC podcast here, the morning edition. Enjoy your breakfast. If you go to church, enjoy church, all that stuff like that. And we'll see you tomorrow.